We'll start off with Emma.
Okay.
Emma, how long have you been running track or cross country?
This was my first year of cross country and my second year of track.
What interested you in cross country?
Cross country, I really wanted to be in shape for the indoor track season. I knew I could never actually work out on my own and be in shape, so I figured might as well just join the cross country team, make some new friends, and get into the training.
And what sports had you done growing up?
When I was little, as I think everybody in this town did, I played soccer. I also played softball, but I quit both of those at some point in my childhood. I moved on to lacrosse in 7th grade, and then I played that for my first 3 years here, not playing this year.
And generally, how would you say your time has gone in cross country and in indoor track?
I mean, cross country was really for the training. Turns out that I actually was a contributing member of the team. That was a surprise. It went really well. The cross country season went really well. And then indoor track went even better than I thought it would. Like as a team, as a whole, and then also like individually, had a really great year.
Were there a lot of the same people doing cross country and indoor track?
There is like some crossover, but not too much, because cross country is really, it's all distance. You have to run the 3.1 miles. So a lot of the same distance kids do cross country and then indoor track, but the team grows a lot during the indoor season because the sprinters and the throwers and the field event jumpers and stuff like that come out for indoor track that wouldn't have been there during cross country.
What would you say the personality of each team is, if you could just give like a little brief personality trait?
Well, cross country, we really did a lot of singing. Our theme song was On the Road Again. And it was a really close team just because you do all of your training together. It's not as many people as the indoor track team, so it was really close-knit and we just had a really fun time. And then indoor track it's fun, but in a different way than cross country. Cross country, you have a lot of fun because you spend so much time together on distance runs, running hills, like in your track workouts, just cheering each other on. And then when it comes time for indoor track, the team grows a lot and you split off like into your separate events. So it's really like you build a rapport if you're a sprinter with the sprinters, distance with distance. And then we come together as like a whole big team to have a good time.
Now, speaking about the two teams separately, what time would cross country start on a daily basis, practice-wise, and how did that contrast to indoor track times?
Because the coaches were a little different for cross country, the practice wouldn't start until 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So you had some time after school to like, get your homework done and all that and get ready, and then come back to the high school for 4 o'clock. But track starts 2:30 right after school pretty much. You get time to change, get down to the foyer to meet up, and then go out and start doing the stuff.
Do you think that you have ample amount of time for both seasons to do homework, but either before or after practice?
Cross country, I feel like I definitely had a lot more time just because I knew I had to get my homework done right after school, and that really made me focus. But when it comes time for track season, we go straight to practice, and then I get home and I'm really tired and I eat some food, and then I just kind of like lounge around, and I know that's not what I should be doing.
Hopefully it's in Providence.
And then, yeah, when it comes time, like meet season, like when you have a lot of meets, we don't get back until like 9:30, like 10 o'clock. There are some meets where we didn't get back until like 11 o'clock. And so if you're getting on the bus right after school, or just like at 3 o'clock or 3:30, and then having to be away for that long, it gets really hard to keep up with like your classwork and everything. But I mean, I'm not failing any classes, so that's good.
Has there ever been like a specific time when you had a meet that you had to like crunch time for homework after the fact, or had to do it on the bus and were stressed out?
Oh yeah, there is there was one time this season where I had a presentation and a paper due the next day, and I had been working on it, but it's always the night before that you finalize everything, because that's just how procrastination works. And I remember we got home, like I got back to my house, and I think it was like 10:15. I still had to eat dinner, so then by the time that I had eaten dinner and like taken a shower and gotten everything ready, like it was really late at night, and I still had to spend, I think, like an hour or two doing homework, so I didn't get to bed until like 1 in the morning. The next day it really dragged on. Felt like death. Yeah.
So you would say schoolwork in season compared to out of season would stresses you out more?
Yeah, I mean, like in season, it's definitely like you have to manage and budget your time a whole lot better. When you're out of season, you can go home and lounge for 2 hours and it's not going to completely cut into your sleep. But if you do that when you're in season for sports, it's going to kill you.
Do you ever feel like disadvantaged to kids who don't do a sport in comparison to like their quality of work they can produce?
I mean, it never really cut into the quality of my work as much as like my mental health. So like getting 4 hours of sleep like on multiple nights in a row is not the healthiest thing. So I definitely feel like kids that don't do sports or like when they're out of season, you definitely have a lot more time. You have more of an advantage to get your work done like healthily. Is that a word?
My final question is, do you think that student athletes should have an extended or a certain time period to get in work while they're in season?
Yeah, I think like a study hall or just like kind of like an advisory time-ish where you're allowed to like work on or meet with teachers would be really helpful. I mean, I know this year there were plenty of times where I thought like, oh wow, staying after with a teacher could really help with the test that we have tomorrow, but I have practice right after school. We have like a meet today or a meet tomorrow. I can't miss practice. I can't miss the meet. So it looks like I'm just gonna have to study on my own. And I mean, having a time to be able to meet with teachers and get my work done like during school hours would be like a big help, huge help.
All right, thank you. Randy, over to you. You're not a senior, but since you are the face of Western running, I think we can say that, this is a good experience for any underclassmen. So far, during your whole high school career, do you think you've had enough time to finish homework during season?
Definitely not. For distance, we get out of practice a little bit later. I think sometimes we're a little bit more tired. It takes a little bit more. Bill, we took about 15 minutes of running compared to our 5 minutes.
You guys definitely.
There's a slight difference there. I pass out every time I go to sleep at night. But every banquet I've gone to, I've had to bring homework to.
That's a true story. I have pictures.
Yeah.
She's a nerd.
And just in between everything, there's only so much time, and it's hard for the amount of classes that I take.
Do you think that some student athletes kind of ruin the reputation that you're a student and an athlete? Like, I know personally, after interviewing some people, that some athletes just put off their work, and it kind of gives a bad rap for students like you who have a high honors with distinction. Do you think that it gives you a bad rap? Like, kids who procrastinate?
I think there are some people, it kind of depends on the type of team maybe too, because the cross country team and the track teams have some really smart kids on it, but I know there are other teams that will use their late game as an excuse and come in the next day and not do anything, which is kind of annoying, but you can't really control what they do.
You said before that you take homework to banquets and stuff, and you always are trying to find time to finish up stuff. Do you think that having a study hall or a designated time after school every day set by your coaches would help you?
I think it'd be a great idea if maybe once in a while a varsity athlete could take off a gym class, knowing that we go to practice every day for an hour and that our physical exercise for daily capacity is basically taken care of. So I think that would be extremely helpful.
You're not the only one who said that, actually. Everyone has been saying that you shouldn't have to do gym because you're an athlete and you do far more exercise in your sport than you do in gym. So if you think that there's a study hall during that class, you think you have enough time to do
Just,
stuff.
making that an option, because I mean, I love gym class, I wouldn't want to miss it, but if I had something that really needed to get done, I would like the opportunity to be able to accomplish it.
And you have Fed as one of your coaches, who is a teacher at this school. Is he understanding of when students have to complete work or do a project or something?
For the most part, yeah. I asked Rock once if I could skip a meet to go to a funeral, and at first he said no, but it was my grandmother's, so I went. But Fed's pretty good with it.
Fed is really good. Like if you have to stay after, you just have to like text them and let them know. But as long as you show up to practice.
For this Saturday, I took the ACTs and I had a missed practice, but I asked what the workout was, so after ACTs was over, I went and just did it on my own, which some people do, but hopefully everyone does when they miss it.
And you already kind of answered it, but the same question as Emma, do you think that student athletes should have a designated time, like during the in-season to complete assignments?
Absolutely. Just any extra time is helpful.
I feel like you literally asked her that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, before. Thank you.
Thank you.